Hi everybody, it is Julie. Welcome back to Pages and Pens. Today I am here with my FantasyAthon TBR. Let's jump right into it. So for those of you that do not know, I will have all the information linked down below for FantasyAthon, but it is a readathon that is hosted by Maddie from the Book Pusher, Allie from Allie Corvier, and myself, originated by Maddie, and then she asked Allie and myself to come along and co-host, and we lovingly say yes every time. So this is the round 2, and we will be reading from December 13th to the 22nd. We do have it a little bit longer so that we can fit in all the fantasy books because fantasies tend to be a little bit longer, right? If you're nervous about building your TBR, at the end of this week, I will have another video coming out that is fantasy recommendations for people that are coming from contemporary or horror, thriller, etc. backgrounds and are nervous about fantasy books. I have a whole recommendation video coming out for you about fantasy light or like easy to get into fantasy books. So you can look forward to that if you're still waiting to build your TBR. But I wanted to share with you what I will be reading for FantasyAthon tentatively. Here's my goals, but honestly, who knows? With me, it always changes. I will be vlogging the entirety of FantasyAthon, but not daily vlogging, so you're gonna have to wait until the end to see what I actually get to, or follow me on Goodreads and social media. All of my links are always down below. So let's jump into the challenges as well as what I will be reading for each one of them. I am doubling up on a lot just because I don't know what my month is going to look like, and I wanna just be happy with my reading. First up is to read a diverse fantasy book. For that, I will be reading Chainbreaker by Tara Sim. If I have read Chainbreaker already, because I think I might have it also in my 'Tis the Season-a-thon TBR. If I've already read this, then I will read Firestarter, which is the last of the series, and is also diverse. This follows a lovely male-male relationship. This is about a world where there are clock towers in every town, and the clock controls the town's timing and pacing. So like, if something happens to a clock and it stops, the whole town stops. If it slows down, time in that town slows down. So this is definitely a fantasy book. Another fantasy light, I think, that is probably easier to get into. It is a little steampunky because of the whole clock aspect, but it does follow ghosts in the clock towers and a lovely male-male relationship that I really enjoy. I'm looking forward to continuing with the series. So whether it is Chainbreaker or Firestarter, I will be reading one of those for my diverse book. And then for a backlist title, Chainbreaker and or Firestarter. They are both backlisted at this point, and I've been wanting to get to them. They've been on TBRs for over a year. It's ridiculous. I need to get to them. For start or continue on in a series, again, Chainbreaker or Firestarter could count for that, but I will be reading Deviate by Jay Kristoff. This one is book 2 of the Lifelike series. Yeah, Lifelike series. I really enjoyed Lifelike. I read it in audiobook actually, but I do own the physical copy. I am really looking forward to reading this. This is one that I've wanted to continue with, and you'll see this come up in another challenge category a little bit later on, but this one is for that. Then we have a hype train book. Jay Kristoff can absolutely count for that 100%, but I'm actually going to use The Night Country by Melissa Albert, which is the sequel to The Hazelwood, which I loved. It's hype train for me. I know a lot of people are looking forward to seeing what she does with book 2, and I am 100% here for it. I do have an arc from NetGalley. It is not out yet, but I do have an arc on NetGalley, so I will be reading that. Which leads me into finish a book that I started but didn't actually finish. Not for like any kind of like bad reason. I have started both of these books and just not continued. I got a little bit into the audiobook of this one. This one I picked up physically and then put down, not because I wasn't enjoying it, it's just other things in life came up and I didn't finish either of these. So either of these could count for the picked up but didn't finish. Then in a new format or a different format that you don't typically read in, I will be reading Night Country on my e-reader because it is a NetGalley arc, so I have to read the digital copy. I do not read digital fantasy ever. I prefer fantasy to be either audio or physically read because ebook of fantasies tend to be so long, and I don't love that for me. But I want to read Night Country, so I will be reading that. For a host favorite, I will be reading Deviate. Now, technically, Maddie has Lifelike on her favorites, but I'm assuming she means the entirety of the series because she loves Jay Kristoff. So if you want to know our host favorites, which is the challenges down below is to like read a host favorite, they will be listed down there. as well in the description box, but she does have Lifelike on her list, and I want to get to this one. I want to continue with the series, and I'm going to go ahead and assume that her recommendation counts for other J. Kristoff in that series, and I'm going to re-deviate on Maddie's recommendation because I know she loves Jay and I know she likes the series, and I'm hoping that it's not just Lifelike and this book doesn't suck. I want to continue on with this one on Maddie's recommendation because I know that that's one of her faves. Then we have a bonus read, which is to buddy read with us, and the buddy read book is Winterwood by Shea Earnshaw. This is going to be confusing to you. This is the LitJoy Crate exclusive cover, and it is stunning, but underneath that cover is the actual regular cover. So I have Winterwood here. I also have Winterwood there. That's the Owlcrate edition. I will be reading Winterwood along with you guys. Winterwood is Shea Earnshaw's sophomore novel to the Wicked Deep, which I'm pretty sure I had on my, you know, like 5 that I recommend or 6 that I recommend list. I did read an arc of this. I did not love the arc of this. I think I 3-starred it, and that felt generous at the time. I've had a lot of distance from the book since reading it, and I have heard that things are different between the arc and the finished copy. So I am really looking forward to seeing what I think about this one. If you love the atmosphere and the world that she weaves in the Wicked Deep, you're going to love this book as well. For me, it was really the fact that I saw kind of like plot twist things coming, and I didn't love the characters as much. Her writing style is the same. If you loved her writing style in the Wicked Deep, then this one is going to be very much on par. It's very atmospheric, very wintry, very snowy. It's perfect for this time of year. I can't wait to read this with you guys and see what you think of it as well. Very much looking forward to diving back into this and seeing if I can see the changes between the arc and the finished copy, and then giving you my final thoughts. Chainbreaker, Deviate, and Winterwood as my books for FantasyAthon. But I do have a couple other options that I want to make sure I get to as well. And that is Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien 2, a book by Jomny Sun. This is a graphic novel that follows a little tiny alien. I'm here for it. I think it's going to be a really quick read, but this is one that I got from Book Outlet. It is severely damaged. Like, they cut through the entirety of this spine when they were opening the box. And then I also have Aquacorn Cove by Katie O'Neill, which I have not read yet, and I desperately want to. So I want to get into this one and see what I think. I can't believe it's been sitting here unread for this long, so this will be one that I read as well, because I want to get to some of my graphic novels and shelve them appropriately. So this is going to be my FantasyAthon TBR. Will there be others added in here? I hope. I hope I crush this TBR and I'm able to just move right straight through, but I just don't know. Host of other books down here on my cart that I would like to get to. So stay tuned for the reading vlog for this one. Like I said, it will be a week-long reading vlog, and I desperately hope to get to more than just these 5 books. But who knows? Let me know in a comment down below if you're participating in FantasyAthon, if you'll be reading one of my favorite books. If not, whose favorite book are you thinking about reading? What is the book on your TBR that you're building that you are most excited for? I cannot wait to dive into some of these fantasy reads for December. The winter months are just so fantasy-like centric in my brain. I love them, and I'm really looking forward to having another round to read with Maddie and to read with Allie. We will be having a live show. I don't know the date on that yet, but we do always like to try to have a live show that coincides at some point with our reading. As soon as I have the date and the time for the live show, I will have it listed in the description box down below, and I will probably put up a reminder on Instagram and on Twitter, so be sure you're following me at both of those places. All of my links are down below for social media, Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, etc. Check out all the information for the other hosts and their links and their favorite reads all down below, as well as the challenges. And like I said, if you're looking for recommendations still for fantasy books that are a little bit less intimidating to jump into, look for my recommendation video on Friday. Hopefully you guys will find some great reads on that list. And let's get ready to read some fantasies. That is it for this one. If you liked it, be sure to give me a big thumbs up, click subscribe, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye guys.